Give the call to the honourable member for Fairfax. Order.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question goes to the Minister for Climate Change and Energy. Darren Pilcher has been a local cafe owner on the Sunshine Coast for the past 8.5 years. And he's just gone through one of the toughest years in business under this Labor government. Darren's electricity bill has risen 60% over the last year and gas up to 50%. Why are power bills going up when the Prime Minister promised they would go down?
Give the call to the Minister for Climate Change and Energy. The Minister has the call.
Well, thanks very much, Mr Speaker. I appreciate the question from the honourable member for Fairfax, especially given it's the first one he's asked me since February, Mr Speaker, since February, and here we are in May, and I'm very delighted to get a question from my Shadow Minister, Mr Speaker. In fact, I appreciate the Shadow Minister generally. Generally, I appreciate him, Mr Speaker. It's very important to me that he stays in his current role. Now, Mr Speaker, in relation to Queensland small businesses, it's also the case that because of this government's intervention, the increase that Queensland small businesses are facing has gone from 43% down to 22% as a result of the intervention of this government, Mr Speaker, an intervention those opposite, one, would not have imposed, and secondly, would repeal. The Leader of the Opposition was at the APIA conference a couple of weeks ago promising to rip them up. I say APIA, you say APIA. I say renewables, you say nuclear. Let's call the whole thing off. Let's call the whole thing off, Mr Speaker. Now, the Leader of the Opposition was not promising to rip up the intervention. He was channelling his inner Reagan. He was saying he was like Ronald Reagan. He's saying, Mr Albanese, tear down this bill relief, he was saying, Mr Speaker. That was his message at the APIA conference. Well, we're not going to stop the bill relief. We're going to continue with the bill relief for businesses and for households right around the country, because that's what good governments do.